Hello, friends, and welcome to the 13th episode of the Squad Pod. My name is Maddox Jr., and I will be your host for the week. This week, we are talking about games we have been playing and the first Call of Duty Battle Royale, Call of Duty Blackout. But before we get to all of that, hot dropping into the battlefield this week, we have the president of the pod, Kevin Asex. Que pasa, Kevin?
Que pasa? You know what I'm saying, guys? Woo, I'm the president. You know, your ass is getting kicked out when I get this fool. Woo.
That might be trademarked by Nick Merck, so be careful.
Whoa, no. This is Kevin's catchphrase. I don't know what you're talking about, Bone Jingles.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to say the other catchphrase publicly, so I'll keep that to myself for now.
You'll just have to say it before every stream starts. All right. And next, we have the guy who loves throwing kids into the goop. The professional Fall Guys Bridge Troll, Bone Jingles.
Yes. I'm on a roll on rollout. Just throwing people in that goop. Love it.
Yep.
Gotta get aggressive.
Always.
Gotta get aggressive.
Gotta hold your ground, you know? I started laughing because I saw Washburn look at me funny when I said goop. And rounding out the squad for this week, we have Joey. How's it going, Joey?
What's up?
What kind of intro is that for him?
Yeah, that is my first name. Yeah, that's correct.
There you go. Now it jigs up now.
Yeah, I guess the jig is up.
His Twitter name says Joey Washburn right now.
Yeah, that's me.
And that's why
that's my name.
Just threw me for a loop, so I just had to throw it out there.
Really?
Yeah, like
you know?
yeah, what's going on, guys?
Didn't we all say our real names like a long time ago?
To each other privately. I don't think but Bone Jangles is listed in his Twitch page description. So that kind of the jig's up on that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
My name is on my Twitter.
Yeah, it says Joey Washburn.
Yeah,
that's
says
me.
$600 is fair to ask for premium console/gaming experience. Wow, you're right.
My hot take, dude. I said, "What's your hot take, bro?" And I said, $600 is a fair ask for a premium console experience.
I'm gonna like that tweet. Yeah, like that tweet at
twitter.com/Washburn135. Yeah.
This week, Shroud uses his real name. I use my real name because me and Shroud are on the same level, dude. Both just absolute gamers.
Yeah, I agree. You're headshotting. You know?
Headshotting. Jesus. All right, let's keep going.
let's go. Let's move on. Let's get out of this.
This intro is fantastic, you guys. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. And if you could, this podcast goes up on Snowbike Mike Gaming on youtube.com and podcast services around the globe. If you give it a like, a subscribe, click that bell, review on iTunes, that'd be great. I haven't checked them recently. I don't know if our average has gone up from, 3.5.
I'll check. Don't worry. Let's check it out.
But after an introduction like this, like how could they? It has
quality content.
Yeah, exactly. We played a lot of games last night and a decent amount of games this week, and we're gonna start by talking about. We've been hopping back into Overwatch a little bit. Some of us for our first time. How's everyone feeling with the Overwatch these days? You want to start off there, Bone Jangles?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've always played Overwatch. I love Overwatch. I usually go on spurts when I play it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when they introduce a new character is when I get back into it. I'll play a couple weeks here and there. And you have no idea how excited I was for you guys to finally get Mike into it. I was so freaking happy. But yeah, I'm glad you guys jumped in. Hopefully you guys are having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, that was my first time ever playing Overwatch last night. I downloaded it last night. It was only 20 gigabytes. I was like, yes, I can do this. I had a great time. I mean, we played like 2 quick play games and then that gun game version with like you switch heroes every time you kill someone. An interesting way to learn each character's powers for sure. But it was a good time.
Yeah,
I can see why people have liked it for so long.
For me, when you think about Overwatch, like the one thing that comes to mind is just how polished it is. And that's kind of why still nothing has dethroned it to this day. 4+ years later, is just because it is so extremely polished. And whether or not you like that type of game, and I go back and forth on whether or not I like that type of game, you can't really deny that like it is just so polished and it runs great on any platform, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, if you have a crew to play it with, it's a lot of fun. If you queue solo, you're gonna hate your life. But the same can be said, for pretty much any team game, and that's kind of what Overwatch is. And I've always been the type of guy who likes games where one person can dominate. You know what I mean? Call of Duty, Halo. I like seeing one person go absolutely off. And that's just not what happens in Overwatch. Like you can get some DPS players that are really good, but still it's going to take the whole team to catch that victory. But yeah, I've been having fun with it on PC. I've never played it on PC, so this week has been an experience for me as well.
Kevin, how have you been feeling about it? I know that you were like, I wish I played this game more, but no one's into it anymore. And now some people are back into it. How you feeling?
You know what? You just gotta tell Mike what to play, and everyone will just hop on with him, dude. That's what we need to do. Because I was happy when Mike was playing it, and then everyone jumped on board. Because I was like, finally, I have a squad back. Because back in the day, my old squad, we used to play on PS4, and then we hopped onto the train on PC, played a lot on there, and then after a while, we kind of just stopped, drifted apart, never talked to each other again, forgot our names and everything like that. But I'm happy now that we have a squad now.
Yeah, it's way easier for all of us to fill up a 6-stack, get a full team going.
Now we have more than 6, so we if we need to, we need one person or 2 people are out, we can still get a full squad in.
Yeah.
Nice. So like a problem that you run into a lot without a 6-stack is, at least on console when I was playing it, on console is if you run without a 6-stack and you queue damage, you're gonna be waiting forever because everybody queues damage. That's what everybody wants to play is DPS characters. And so with a 6-stack, you kind of avoid that. And I think the game, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think the game does try to pair you against other full parties. So it really, really cuts down on that queue time, and it just makes the game better. And like I said, if you queue solo in Overwatch, it's not going to be nearly as much fun. But I think with a full party of 6 and being able to communicate and help each other out that way, it's going to elevate the experience for sure.
As I have not played this game very much, just last night, is there a certain amount of each category per team? Is it like 2, 2, and 2? Or yeah.
What it is now.
Yep.
They changed that. It never used to be like that. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, like you could roll in a full team. They could go all tanks if they wanted to. But
really?
Yeah, they changed that. I forgot how long ago, but they changed it.
Yeah, so what was happening is in the Overwatch League, people were finding these basically unbreakable metas, unbreakable team compositions that were making the game just not as much fun to watch. And so what they did was they went and changed it, like Bonjangle said, to where you have to have a certain composition. You have to have 2 tanks, 2 DPS, and 2 support characters. And people still can break that wide open with specific compositions, but it does make the game a little bit more fun to watch because like you were never getting like a Widowmaker who popped off, or like these DPS characters who popped off, because the meta back in the day was we're going to run several tanks and a couple healers and just stay alive forever. And that's just kind of what it was. And now you have to have 2 DPS players on the team to sort of keep the momentum going and keep the game moving along.
Nice.
I'm so surprised they did like what the quick play is right now. We have to be 2-2-2. They didn't leave that for like the comp section of the game and leave like the regular quick play as the regular quick play where you can just choose as many as you want. Like 10,
that's some,
like
yeah, they have that
healers.
mode.
Yeah, but it's like to the side though. Like I'm surprised they actually just went for it and shifted to it. Like this is what the game is now, and everyone has to play it. But you can still play the old way, but it's not like the forefront of the game when you launch it.
Right.
So it's interesting they went that route.
Yeah, I think it's for the better, personally. But
yeah. I like it.
I like being told that, like, okay, your team composition you need to be this because you're forced to be this. Back in the day, like if before the 2-2-2, it would just tell you like your team needs a healer or your team needs a tank. Like it would give you suggestions, but it wouldn't force you into that role. And people would just ignore those suggestions all the time, and you'd end up with really bad team compositions, especially if you were running without a full stack of 6. So it sort of helps all parties.
Cool.
I'm happy we're all back playing it now.
Yeah. I'm excited to play a little bit more for sure.
Yeah,
I like want to jump in alone, but then you guys scare me with that idea just to like get a more of a feel for some of the characters. But
I mean, you can jump in alone. The only thing is, don't read the chat or make sure you just kind of helping the team out too, because sometimes your own teammates would talk trash about you if you go in there alone.
Yeah, I'm used to that though. I don't care. Call of Duty players do that too.
That is a good way to learn each character. Like just going by yourself. If you have a couple spare moments, try some people out. There is a match type that's called the random heroes.
Mystery heroes, yeah.
Mystery heroes. That helps out a lot too to learn different characters. You're pretty much playing the core like match types, but every time you die you switch characters, so it's a pretty good way to learn.
That's cool. The next game we played last night was let's go with Killing Floor 2. Killing Floor 2 is a zombie game where you have guns, lots of guns. I had a really good time.
Lots of killing.
Lots of killing, much murder.
I need to look this up.
Washburn was very scared.
Yeah, so full disclosure, because we're going to talk about 2 games today that are sort of in the genre of, horror. And Killing Floor 2 is really not that, it's more action-based, but I don't do well with scary things, never have. And so I do not really vibe with scary games. This one is sort of an exception because, like I said, it is more action focused. It's kind of fast paced. It's hectic. It's kind of mayhem. Like when we went in with 6 people, and there's just like hundreds of zombies running at you and shooting them all down, and you get to a boss fight, and it's really hectic and fast. And I had a bit of fun with this one actually, and I was impressed by the performance of it. We were playing I was on a 1X. I don't know what you guys are playing on, but it ran like really well. And it's not visually the best game ever, but like performance wise, I thought it really excelled there. And so I was impressed by that because there was a lot going on and I didn't really get any frame dips. So it's a well optimized game, and I had a lot of fun with it just playing with you guys. I would never play this by myself.
Yeah, it was definitely fun with a lot of people.
So to say, I'm surprised it was running well because last time I played with it was me, Mike, I Am the Game, and JD, and the game wasn't really running that well. It was kind of framey. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because of Mike's connection or something like that. But yeah, it didn't feel too great. So I was scared jumping into it last night. But then when I hosted it, I don't know if it was because of me too, but I hosted it and it felt really smooth. And I was like, man, this feels really smooth for a 4-year-old game because this game came out in 2016. I'm surprised it's still running well.
Watching you guys stream it looked really smooth.
Yeah, it looked really smooth. It could run on a peer-to-peer connection. I don't know how they're doing that. But that would make sense, Kevin, if like you didn't host last time and you had issues with connection and frames, and now this time you were hosting and I know you have super fast internet, so it could be like a peer-to-peer thing. I don't know how they're running their servers, but yeah, I mean that would make sense to me. But yeah, it ran really well last night, and that was the thing that impressed me the most about it because there's so many assets on the screen all at once. And when you shoot a zombie, they're exploding in blood, and sometimes it goes down to like this slow-mo.
Slow-mo is so cool,
and it's just like, man, I didn't even spot a hiccup, and
yeah.
there were like a ton of zombies on the screen all at once. So yeah, you got to give props to them for optimizing their game well, and anytime a game runs well, it increases my enjoyment of it. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're always surprised when like a zombie game has like a ton of zombies in the game and it's still running smoothly, just because of like State of Decay or games of that ilk. Just getting a little weird when you have multiple people on the same server. State of Decay was like, ooh, you'd be in a car and you'd be like jumping around. But I had a lot of fun with it. I was the SWAT class of character. I guess I don't know how much you level up each class, but I had an MP7 and a nail gun and a pistol, and I was having a blast just killing zombies.
Like you leveled up like every game we played, we leveled up at least once from what it looked like. And,
yeah,
I think I was playing as the Firebug, and that was because that was pure by recommendation by my brother who plays this a lot. And I told him like last time I played this with other guys, I'm like, who should I be playing and for what? And he was telling me the stats on everything, and I'm like, all right, just tell me who, just one guy, and he told me Firebug, and that's who I went with.
Nice.
And Firebug was really fun because he had, I don't know what it was, some like super crazy gun that I used to kill that one boss at the Krampus lair. It was really easy, and I was like, holy moly, I can see why he uses this class.
Yeah, for sure.
Really kind of reminded me of Left 4 Dead a little bit, and
yeah,
that's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Left 4 Dead was a great game, and this is sort of it's not exactly like that, because in Left 4 Dead, if I recall, you do go sort of through a map that's more mission based. This is kind of just horde mode. And what I thought they did that was really cool is after each round, they force you to go in a specific direction. So, like for example, last night we were on Krampus's lair, which is hilarious. And every round, it would force us to go to a buy station deeper and deeper into the cave, which I thought that was just a really cool mechanic and a really neat way to get us to progress and
through the maps.
Make these maps feel more mission based than they actually are, because when you boil it down, like, this is horde mode, it's just crazy horde mode, and the way that they sort of get around that and work around that with those mechanics is really, really cool.
I don't know if there was like a difficulty setting or anything, but I also enjoy a game where we can like kind of run through and maybe we die at the end, but we're not dying constantly throughout the game, because that kind of like in multiplayer games where you're just like working together, if the difficulty is just too high, I just don't have as much fun. And this was just like mindless zombie shooting, and I was having a great time.
Yeah, I agree with that. It is sort of mindless, but it is something where you can just sort of kick back and turn your brain off.
There is difficulty settings. There was the weird thing about this game. It had the lowest was normal, and after that was hard, and after that was suicidal. After that
and
was
we were on,
and after that one was Hell on Earth, and after that one is hardcore, and we were on Hell on Earth, dude. We did crazy good. I'm joking. We did normal. Yeah. We did normal.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Because we did not win. Like the first mission,
one we didn't.
We lost. Because that crazy boss came out, Dr. Voltic or whatever, and just decimated our squad, which was hilarious. But
we killed Krampus.
Yeah, we did kill Krampus.
I love that. That is so awesome.
And what was really funny about the Krampus level is at the very end of it, he has this list of names.
Oh, yes.
And then on that list is your gamer tag.
Oh,
so like the
awesome.
list of people that Krampus is going to go after, like you're right there on the list next to like Santa Claus and Nicolas Cage or whoever. And it's really, really funny and creative, and just like a neat little thing that they put in the game. So yeah, shout out to them for getting creative. And I think this game is probably definitely worth its asking price right now. If you're looking for, something that, like Maddox said, you can just sort of turn your brain off and kick back and mindlessly shoot zombies. This is a fun one.
For sure.
What's the developer? Do you remember what the developer's name was?
I lost it.
It's the same people that made Maneater.
Oh, really?
Tripwire Interactive.
Tripwire.
Tripwire, that's right. I remember Mike saying that. That's pretty neat. Going from that game to like a game like Maneater, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Our next game is also. Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
Bojangles. You didn't play it at all, right?
No, I've never played it.
You were just watching it. Do you think this is the type of game you would buy after watching us play?
Did we buy it or was it Game Pass?
Buy.
Okay.
Pass, yeah.
Oh yeah, because Mike gifted it to us. I remember.
I don't think I would buy it. No.
Our sugar daddy.
Not your type of game.
Gears of War 5 Horde mode really soured me on Horde modes from when we played it. Honestly,
Mike's trying to get us to do it again.
I don't know if I could do another Horde mode. So I don't know.
Not another Horde mode until we beat that low round 50 of Horde and Gears of War.
Round
5,
50.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
We gotta do that soon.
Because even in like Destiny, they have like these horde mode types things, and I hate doing them.
Oh, yeah.
Horde mode's a hard thing to balance. I feel like in terms of difficulty and
gotta make it entertaining after a while too.
Yeah,
like it's kind of boring.
Yeah, I think last night, the killing floor, it was the perfect length, and we were playing on 4 rounds, right?
Yeah, because
we had that option of 4, 7. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to go any higher.
12 would be
4,
a lot
because 4 is the perfect length, and especially with this game where there's like a cajillion maps, and just doing 4 and being able to go in, knock that out, go to the next one. I would not go any higher than 4 because otherwise it's going to be too long.
For sure. Our next video game that we're talking about is also a horror game, and this one is a lot scarier in terms of making you panic. Dead by Daylight.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Among
Us. No. I didn't play Among Us, but Dead by Daylight. I had a decent time. It seemed like it was a little bit difficult for those on the not killer side, but maybe we're just not good at the game. I don't know. Kevin can probably speak more to that.
So when I used to play like here and there used to be really good people as like the, what are they called, survivors, and it would be tough to kill these guys sometimes. So like I know when we played it seemed like the killer had a better chance to win it, but then again we were all playing for the first time. The only people who had experience was me and Mike, and kind of hard to coordinate everyone, trying to figure out what to do, and especially playing on new maps we never played on. We have no idea where to go. That was kind of a tough time for us as the survivors, but what'd you guys think about it? I liked the game.
It's fine.
I think it could be fun if we pulled it off as survivors, because then we could just roast the person who was the killer.
Yeah, I think for me, if I had never played Secret Neighbor, I would like this a lot more. But this game really just made me want to play Secret Neighbor. I feel like I had so much more fun with Secret Neighbor than this. And both games are shallow, you know what I mean? But Secret Neighbor for me, and this is a personal taste thing. It's just like, Secret Neighbor has sort of that comic-y, gimmicky, playful, tone. Whereas this it's trying to be a horror game, which already turns me off because, like I said, I don't do scary well. And I don't even think it succeeds at that. It's not very scary. So it just it didn't hit me the way that I wanted it to. And like Kevin said, I think you and Maddock, Kevin, both said being the killer is a lot more fun than being a survivor. That's just my opinion on it.
I think bouncing with games like this, where it's like a 3v1 scenario, is kind of tough because you don't want to give the people that are working against the killer too much power, and then you also don't want to make it too difficult for them to succeed. There's that fine balance. And as a survivor, I didn't really think it was kind of hard to get away, and then it the gameplay loop for the survivor wasn't really that fun to me because you're just waiting for the little circle to come up so you can repair the generator. And it's maybe if there was a couple different things to do, or there's a couple more ways to slow down, maybe we just didn't get into the perks enough to slow down the killer properly. But it's kind of where I'm at with it. It was maybe I'd try it again, but
you have to level up your survivors and stuff, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
To get new perks.
Yeah, that's why when we were doing custom matches and after the third game, Mike was like, "Oh, you have all the perks, right? Since we're in the custom game." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" Like if I knew about this, I would have added some of these perks to help me out with like the repair or running away or stuff like that. So that's the point. Yeah, of using those. But then again, when everything was unlocked, there were so many to look at. I was looking at so many of them
God,
that I've never seen. So that was tough going through them. After a while, I just randomly choose a couple new ones and a couple ones I know. But that was a lot for
it was
that type
a
of
lot.
game. Yeah,
yeah, and every single perk is just like 3 paragraphs long. And it's just
I'm streaming right
there's
now.
Like
I can't
30
read
or
that
40 of them, and it's just like, man, there's no way I could master this game.
Well, I mean,
no way.
You will when you play like in a real game, like a multiplayer game, you unlock those like one by one here and there. So you're able to read them and not look at so many of them and choose which is a good, which is bad for which map. Yeah, but
for me, I just don't even understand why they're in there at all. I just don't see the point of them. And I know that they give you certain abilities, they do different things, but like survivors should just be all on the same page and killers should just be all on the same page. I don't see the point or the value that this perk system adds. You know what I mean? I just think the game is what it is, and adding a bunch of stuff to it for me just sort of bogs it down a little bit, makes it more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah, I feel you. I
don't have to
give it a try again.
Yeah, I don't have too much experience with this because when this came out, more people on my friends list were on the Friday the 13th train.
Yeah,
so more people were playing that. So I never really got sunk too much into Dead by Daylight.
Have you guys played Friday the 13th besides me and Bone Jangles?
Isn't Dead by Daylight sort of the spiritual successor?
No. I think it's different people that came out.
It's more of the predecessor to Predator. Because they made the same game.
I've never played Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
it's almost the same thing as Dead by Daylight, except for what are there 7 survivors, Kevin? Campers
for
Friday the 13th. Yeah, I think
so.
Maybe it's 6 survivors and a killer.
Yeah, something like that. That one's. I think that one's more fun than Dead by Daylight. Because you're right.
It's
Washburn. Because when you said it's more complicated when you add the perks and stuff like that. On Friday the 13th, they give you perks, but simple. They're like, oh, this perk makes you swim faster if you want, or this one helps you like repair the car, or this and that. It's so much simpler.
Yeah, because that sounds more attractive already. Because these, you go into a perk, it's like 10% cooldown on perception, luck +1, and it's just like I don't know what any of these words mean in the context of the game and the mechanics, and so I think I did myself a disservice by sort of just jumping into a custom lobby and really not playing a tutorial or any sort of. I know this game probably doesn't have a campaign, but like any sort of ranked matches, I didn't do any of that. Like we just jumped into these custom lobbies where everybody had everything, and I think that was probably a disservice to myself.
I don't know if there is a tutorial for that game, but. Yeah, if we ever get to Friday the 13th, I think that'll be more funner. It's more. I think the map's more bigger too than Dead by Daylight.
Isn't there a lot more ways to win as a camper than there are survivors in Dead by Daylight?
Yeah.
Because what do you do in Dead by Daylight? Just the generators.
Yeah, turn on the generators and escape through the doors.
And then Friday the 13th, you could gas up the car. You could call the police.
Please gas up the boat. Kill Jason if you want.
It's nice.
I think it's more. But then again,
Dead by Daylight might run smoother though.
Yeah, it does.
There's that.
And then again, I don't think they're supporting Friday the 13th anymore because they went on and made Predator. Oh.
Yeah, that is correct. Next, we have Among Us. I did not play Among Us, but the rest of you did. I'll start with you, Bone Jingles, as you played this the other night.
Yeah, so Among Us, really, I had a hard time with Among Us just because I hate to lie. It's really hard for me to lie. So when I got the killer, I was just like, oh, God, I have no idea how to play this game. I'm the killer. How am I going to lie? I was trying to be sneaky. Didn't work out so much. There were a couple times I hit a couple wrong buttons. Because I switched from my controls from my mouse and my keyboard to mouse and keyboard. So when I was walking around, there's these vents as the killer or whatever imposter. You can go in these vents, and I was just clicking around trying to go where I was supposed to go, and I would go in these vents right in front of people, so it would give me away.
That was my favorite part when I think you did it, and I think Mike called an emergency meeting, and then you're like, yeah, just vote me off. It was me.
Yeah, just vote me.
I was like, oh, okay then.
Yeah, because if you just have it to where you're controlling with a mouse, if you click something, you're going to use it. So you're point and clicking where to move. So I was going up through this hallway. There's a vent in the top right corner. I was clicking to walk that way, and I clicked the vent and went right in. And as soon as I did that, somebody was coming into my point of view, and I was like, they definitely saw that. They definitely saw me just go in here. And soon enough, they called the meeting, and I was like, yeah, just vote me out. But it is pretty fun.
You can change your controller scheme there, Bojangles.
Yeah.
Using the WASD keys to move around, and then just having the mouse on the use button. But I ran into that problem too in the first couple games before I changed my controls up, just clicking on stuff and not meaning to.
So for people who haven't played, would someone like to give a brief explanation of what's going on with this game?
It's like
go ahead, Kev.
Actually, I don't know. You go ahead. I don't know what
so you've got a group of 10 people, and they're all put in the same place. The catch is 1, 2, or 3, depending on your settings. We play with 2. 2 of these people are imposters. It is the imposter's job to kill everybody else. So nobody knows who the imposter is other than the imposters. So if I'm an imposter and Kevin's an imposter, we both know that we are imposters. Now, what you have to do is there's sort of an honor system. Once you get into the game, you have to mute yourself and everybody around you. There can be no talking, because as soon as somebody talks, it sort of ruins the immersion. And I think that was what made the game so much fun, is like, we would get into a game, everybody would say, okay, shut up. We'd all mute each other. And then we all try to guess who the imposter is. And they have these mechanics where if you find a dead body that the imposter has killed, you can like call a meeting. And that's when everybody unmutes themselves. You have about 2 minutes to talk with each other and try to plead your case. And this is where the game is at its best. So for instance, we were playing on like a space station map. There's 3 maps. We were playing on the space station one. Bojangles runs up sort of away from everybody else. I'm the imposter. I kill Bojangles, not realizing that Mike is sort of like right behind me. Mike sees me do this and immediately goes down to call an emergency meeting. He calls the emergency meeting, and then it just sort of devolves into me and Mike yelling at each other about why either I'm the killer or he's the killer. And he's telling the truth, and I'm just lying straight out of my teeth. And it is so much fun and really, really funny. And I've said this about a couple games before, but this is a content game, like if I've ever seen one. And I think that's kind of where it's got a little bit of a resurgence this year. I think some content creators are playing it on their channels. And yes, really the highlight is, if you're a killer, you have to do your best to convince everybody else that you're not the killer. And doing that is really hard. And I'm not a good liar, but when Mike did catch me kill Bojangles, I actually made up a case, so solid that we ended up voting him off, even though I was the killer. And so it was like, that type of stuff is hilarious, because I was just telling everybody, Mike is just calling this meeting to try and vote me out, because he was standing right next to this dead body and he knows I saw him, and he was saying the same thing about me. And so, you go back and forth, and like I said, it sort of just evolves into everybody yelling and screaming. And there's like a time window where you can do that. And it's just really fun. Like we had a lot of fun with this, and I don't know how much we can continue to play it going forward, because it takes a lot out of you. But it's a blast. And for however much money this is, I think it's $4.99, $5.99 on Steam. if you have a group of 10 friends, this is a absolute must buy. Like, this is something that is just so unique and so fun. And if you do play with those honor rules like we were, where we weren't speaking to one another except in the meeting, it's a blast. This is an absolute blast of a game.
Nice. It sounds like a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's a murder mystery.
Yeah.
Clue. Knives Out. It's a murder mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is kind of like playing Clue. You know, it's a blast. It like, I can't hype this game up enough. This is probably one of my favorite things I've played this year. And I know it's like a 2-year-old game, but man, this thing is something.
The only problem we had with the game was make a custom game for that game.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's the only problem we had because we kept getting errors like disconnected from server. You know, Pocket.
That's not fun.
They couldn't find seed number 48 or something like that. Weird error codes, but other than that, when we were able to make games, we were just having really a fun time. Mm-hmm. Especially me when I kept being the imposter and just winning every game.
Kevin,
did you win as the imposter?
Yeah. Kevin pulled a long con as the imposter that will never be done again. It is unrivaled. Kevin spent the whole game as an imposter, basically not killing anybody and sort of just sitting back and letting everybody else argue out why somebody else was the imposter. And Kevin just sort of sat back and let these guys vote each other off one at a time. He's not the imposter. He's not the imposter. Well, Kevin can't be the imposter because Kevin's been next to me the whole time and he hasn't done anything.
You know Kevin's such a strategy.
And so it was amazing to watch because just the seeds of distrust are planted amongst the group of 10. And there's so many different strategies and actions you can take as the imposter that really propel this game to one of the funnest things I've done this year. If this was a 2020 release, it would be on a very short list for game of the year. That's how good this thing is.
This game came out 2 years ago, so I'm surprised. Yeah, it got brought back up from the dead, I guess. Because I don't know if anyone was playing it back in the day.
Yeah, what caused the resurgence? Was there a big streamer or someone that played it and then it just caught on?
I think I think Mike saw Bruce playing it. I think that's what happened. One of the Funhouse or ex-Funhouse people were playing it, and that sort of brought it into the mind share. And Mike said, this looks really goofy and fun. We have to get people to try this. And
the same night you were playing, I think Ninja and Dr. Lupo and Cloaksy and all of them were playing. So obviously, it's about to pop off if it hasn't.
Right. Yeah, I remember. Yep.
That's probably
Jack,
why we're
Courage had 10 people playing it. Yeah.
Probably why we're having issues then with the connection.
I guarantee you, because they built this game 2 years ago and it probably didn't get a lot of traction, and then you get these huge personalities playing it and
tons of people start downloading it.
Yeah, and it's $5 and it's an easy for me, this is one of the easiest purchases I can recommend, because if you have a group of 10 people, this game is gold. It is really, really funny. Imagine if poker was a comedy. That's kind of what this game is. You have to bluff, and you have to be really good at bluffing. And I had so much fun watching Kevin sort of dismantle a whole group without really doing anything, because we all know each other and we all know how each other operate. And man, this is so much fun. I can't sing enough praises on it. It's great.
When I did the long con, you were the imposter, right? Washburn?
Yeah, and I got caught early because I'm not good at being an imposter. Like Bone Jangles said, I'm not a great liar either. And I got that one lucky time where I convinced everybody that Mike was the killer instead of me. But any other time I was an imposter, I was terrible. So there's one time where
were you after the time that you got Mike accused, were you just axed the very next round, or did it take a few more rounds?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, if Mike's not the imposter, then it's gonna be Washburn.
Everybody knew. It's because me and Mike were the only two people next to Bone Jangles' dead body.
Yeah.
And so it was really it was gonna be either me or him.
Yeah.
And it was really funny. But there's another time I was an imposter, and I think Andy was the other imposter. Aaron Moeller was in the room with us. And
Aaron Porter.
Either me, Was it Aaron Porter?
Yeah, Porter.
Me and Andy, one of us killed Aaron, and somebody called an emergency meeting, and me and Andy were both just like, well, it couldn't have been me or Andy because we were in the same room as Aaron. And it was just like the worst case ever. And everybody's like, yeah, that now he's dead. You see what you're saying? Like, one of you killed him. And so like they knew immediately both me and Andy were the imposters.
That's funny.
Because we just made a terrible case. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so funny, dude. Like, this game is just like nonstop laughter. I had so much fun with it.
Great. I was gonna say, like,
Kevin,
what's up?
Kevin, when you were playing your long con, and then it was down to pretty much you, Flurple, and a couple other people, and Flurple was totally making his case how you were the imposter and you were still playing your long con. I really thought it was Flurple. He was doing so well. He was doing so well. Like, I was like, there's no Flurple. I think it's Flurple. It's got to be Flurple. He's doing too good at this. He's too sneaky. It's got to be him.
And then it came down to me, you, and Flurple. And then when we called for the emergency meeting, I was like, Flurple, you know who it is, right? And at first, I thought he was to say it was me. So I was like, oh shit, I'm dead. And he said it was Bone Jangles. I was like, oh yes, I got one. It's over, dude.
Incredible.
Can we, Washburn? Were you wanting me to kill someone the whole time I was doing the long con?
No.
Or were you supporting me, being like, I hope he doesn't get caught at all?
No, so like there's this mechanic when you are an imposter and you die.
Oh, you were sabotaging.
You come back as a ghost, and you can still sort of float around the map and sabotage and influence people to run in certain directions. So when I died, Kevin, what I was doing was sabotaging the reactor, and the alarm would start going off. Everybody would run over there, you included, in the group. So like it just really kept everybody together, and like nobody knew who was the imposter because nobody was killing anybody. Everybody was there.
The only time we were like,
it's so funny.
The only time we were pointing fingers at who the imposter was is when someone split off on his own. That's when we were pointing the fingers, and that really helped me out.
I pointed the fingers a couple times because like so you have tasks. If you're a crew member, somebody who's not an imposter, you have to run around and complete these tasks. And when you do a task, you recognize how long that task takes, like what there is to do in there. So there's one time when Mike, who's a horrible liar, came into this room where I was doing a task. And the task has you fill up these medical vials, and then you have to wait a full minute for it to be done. And then you go back and you select the anomaly, and it takes like a minute and a half. And I was doing that in a room by myself. Mike comes in, stands there for about 15 seconds. So I know he's not doing the task. He's just acting like he's doing the task. Stands there for about 15 seconds, then sort of runs after me because I'm by myself. So I go and call the meeting, and I'm like, guys, Mike is a killer because he did not do that task. He's just acting, and it's so obvious. And I was right. But then on the flip side of that, I screwed over JD because I thought JD was doing the same thing. But it turned out he was actually doing a task. And so I pointed the finger at JD, and we all voted him off. Turns out he was the crew member. He wasn't the killer. So like it's really, really just it's hilarious to sort of yell at each other and blame each other for things that you know or that you just think you know. And it's just like, man, this game was so much fun, dude.
And I think we'll come back to it, like, not, I don't know if this week or the next week after that, but I'm pretty sure we'll come back to it because it was too much fun to not like come back and play it again.
I bet Mike's gonna suggest we play it tonight.
No, I don't think this is something you can play every night, man, because it
has that
takes
ever
a lot
stopped
out
you
of
before?
But the thing is,
it takes a lot out of you.
There's only like 3 maps to play on. There isn't that many maps to play, so it's just the same old maps we're playing on, and then one of them we didn't really like, so there's not much content to the game. It's pretty basic.
That's fair.
But yeah, since we all like this game, I know for sure when we get to it, Trouble in Terrorist Town will be fun too, because it's pretty much the same premise.
We need to get to it.
Yeah.
It's that, except like a shooter, which makes it like infinitely funnier.
Yeah.
Well, not infinitely, but like hilarious.
And you can move bodies too, so like some bodies won't be found, and then you be thinking they're still alive the whole time.
Yeah, so like we talked today about Dead by Daylight, and I sort of compared it to Secret Neighbor, types of games where they're asymmetrical. There's one person who has one job. This is in that genre, and it is far and away the best thing in this genre, where this sort of asymmetrical, you have one job, everybody else has another. That sort of asymmetrical multiplayer. This is far and away the best example of that I've ever seen. And it's really not even close.
All right. Well, until we play it next time, I will have to trust you on that one. But it does sound like a good time. The next thing I wanted to talk about, just touch on briefly, Kevin and I yesterday on Tuesday or Wednesday, there was a Call of Duty event announcing the next Call of Duty. They let you replay the event multiple times throughout the week. Kevin and I hopped in last night, ran the like special mode for the event.
No, you
Kevin, what did you think, man?
I really wished we'd done this when it first came
live,
out. Live,
streaming
dude.
it.
That would have been awesome, dude. I really
would have been.
Because they get you do like they put you in like a plunder type game where you have your own loadout at the start when you drop in, and they give you tasks. They're like you gotta collect 5 maps, and after you collect 5 maps, you go and find to another area to get a key. Am I something like that, right?
Yeah.
After the key, you go find a box that has another map to where Sergeant Woods is at. And then you would have to find Sergeant Woods to give you the SKS blueprint, whatever it is. Yeah, but I don't know what would happen if we didn't find that in time.
I don't know. We got close to not finding it because it was like the entire hospital was the last thing. It just like unblacks out the name of the area you're supposed to go to.
Gives you a
so we're like,
too,
we go to a hospital and we're just like running around looking. And the hospital is, well, we know because we land there all the time. Hospital is huge and there's so much going on. We're going like up and down all the floors. Like, where the hell is this man? He turned out to be in the warehouse.
Yeah,
under the stairs.
Because you can kind of hear him yelling at you.
Right there?
You can kind of hear.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
He's like, "Get over here! We have no more time," something like that. And he's like, we're trying to like listen exactly where he's at, and like, it was so tough because I was like, "Where is he?" And like, I hear other people around us too that are trying to kill us, so it was really tough. But after that,
you start out having to get like 10 kills, so. And then like people were trying to grief us the whole time, and we just shredded this kid over and over again.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that his deal was, but we got it, and then we got into the final phase where like they put you around stadium pretty far away, and you have to run towards stadium. Or I don't know what happens if we got the trailer either way. So I don't know what happened if you made it into stadium. But after that, you see like. Well, first you see a lot of like airstrikes happening around stadium. It was this really cool event, and then after a while, the trailer pops up, and it gives you the trailer for Cold War.
And while we're like doing all these missions, there's like random flashes, like Black Ops style, of course, like where it's like sort of giving you like half of an image, and you're just like, "What the hell is that?" And then when you like respawn with no weapons and you're running towards stadium, it's like doing like a full overlay. It's like active measures and like flashing in Russian and stuff. It was like very cool.
It's like that teaser they gave us with that guy in the TV. It was like his thing going on, but like overlaid with the gameplay. So it was pretty cool.
And then the trailer plays and it has that song and it bangs so hard.
God, that trailer bangs so hard. God, I wish we'd done it. Dude. I wish we'd done it live. That was really cool.
It would have been very cool. I would have like lost my mind live. I feel like because when we were doing it, we obviously knew it was going to happen, but. It would have been cool.
This came close enough to a Fortnite event, in my opinion.
Yeah. It was a decent. I thought it was like a little fun little excursion to go on.
Mm-hmm. And I wish they did this for like opening stadium. Like,
that would have been cool too.
So like maybe you had to blow up stadium to get in whatever's in there, like a blueprint, and then that would have been cool.
Yeah. I watched it on YouTube, and I like. It was really cool from what I saw. Yeah, like Kevin said, it looked like a Fortnite event, and that's exactly what Warzone needs.
Yeah, I'm impressed that they pulled it off. It definitely on day one it was server stutters, but for an event where I'm sure a ton of people were playing and a ton of people were watching, you got to give them credit still because they did a good job making it all work.
What did you think, Brony? Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was neat. They did a great job with it. They actually did a lot more than I was expecting to.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was gonna be like one small thing and then it was gonna be over. But like the whole playlist thing was cool.
Did you earn anything for doing the event?
We earned a lot of things. There was
Calling
like
cards, emblems, blueprint for
blueprint for a gun. Yeah.
I didn't really care too much for the reward. A little bit because the calling card is pretty cool, but I just wanted to like be in that event and see how that felt. Since I never been into like a Fortnite event before, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was watching it live. Who was I watching?
Same.
I think I was watching. Yeah, Nick and Tim the Tatman. They were all playing together. That's who I was watching.
I'm very excited to see how Warzone progresses into the Cold War era. I think it'll be very interesting, and I'm excited for Black Ops for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So, quick question: at the end of that trailer, they showed the vehicles. Do you think that's
Warzone?
Just like a Warzone, or is that a new map? It
seems like they're going to have a new map for Warzone. Yeah,
it has to be Warzone because that's the biggest thing right now.
Yeah.
But then again,
I don't know if they were planning this all along, but if they've like pivoted to like making this a part of it, it's kind of genius because they like definitely took that as like it's obviously hyper popular and it's going to stay hyper popular if they can keep it up. And if they can roll that straight into Black Ops and they weren't planning that originally, that's kind of insane. If they were planning it originally, it's ingenious.
Yeah, like Maddox said, I'm so excited to see how Warzone is integrated. Because like we have no idea what they're gonna do. Because Warzone is
there's a little bit of an idea.
Yeah, but there are like certain mechanics of Warzone that are locked in. Like people have bought blueprints. Those blueprints are integrated with the gunsmith in a way that
the blueprints are all carrying over according to them.
So what are they going to do? They're just going to have a new map with a bunch of new vehicles and put in some older weapons like a STG or, I guess 80s, 90s era themed weapons. Like
I think
so.
I think the ground loot will be Black Ops themed, but you still keep your loadout guns.
And then you can also use the blackout guns probably. So it'll just change how everyone plays the game.
So we'll see. Yeah, because they said they'll let you keep the blueprints stuff. So we'll see what happens.
They're just gonna mass nerf all of the Modern Warfare guns, so you have to buy blueprints for the other ones. Something like that.
We'll see. I mean,
we'll see
they might have good guns in Black Ops. It's better than guns in
There's definitely going to be.
Yeah, there's going to be a way
every
to
time they add
incentivize
guns, it's always whack.
Yeah, there's going to be a way to incentivize you to use the era appropriate weapons.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, it definitely seems like there might be a new map coming, which I'm excited about for sure. It will be interesting to see if like they take that ground war style tanks and stuff where you can just shoot tanks in the war zone, or if it's just going to be like it is now where you just have helicopters and cars where you can't really shoot at with them.
Didn't the helicopters in that trailer have mini guns on them?
Yeah. That's interesting. Where like, is this gonna be Warzone? Because it'd be weird having a chain gun on a helicopter. It'd be kind of like
I almost thought maybe that's like the kill streaks and just regular multiplayer.
It could have been ground war.
It could have been
war too. Yeah.
We'll see.
Wait.
The final thing that we want to talk about is we got a little bit addicted to Fortnite all of a sudden because
I'm in, dude.
There are Marvel skins, and we are all about it.
I'm in, dude. I'm in.
I'm so in.
I'm buying every costume, every skin now. I'm gonna buy the Silver Surfer one so I can surf in his board
when I'm right now.
Can't wait, dude. I can't wait for more skins.
Yeah, it's genius. I mean, it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
You know, they have this big legal battle with Apple and Google, and they take it off mobile platforms. And what better way to get the fans on your side than to say, hey, here's all these characters that you know and love.
Yes.
And it's everybody. They're all here. It's Iron Man. It's She-Hulk. It's Wolverine. It's freaking Thor, Silver Surfer's on the shop.
Doom.
You know, over the course of the season, they're just going to throw Spider-Man on there. They're going to throw all of these big Marvel characters on there that everybody loves. And guess what? You know, too bad if you're Apple or Google or a mobile player, because they want to have their way on, you know, on their app stores. It's just this sort of perfect bit of timing there, to sort of rally the fans behind Epic and get everybody saying, we want this now. Like,
yeah.
And what Fortnite's always done that's been really cool is sort of that timed exclusivity where you can't get Batman anymore. You know what I mean? Like they introduce these things.
They pop up randomly.
Yeah, they introduce these things to the shop that are there for a certain amount of time, and if you don't get it, well, you know, you might never have a chance again. And right now, for that to be Marvel in the middle of all this, you know, going up against Apple and Google, it's just genius. And yeah, like you guys said, we're all in. You know, we played it yesterday for about 3 hours. I was planning on going back tonight and finishing out some of those week 1 challenges. And I do want to get this battle pass up to level 100 because I want everything that's on
Iron Man.
I have to have it.
100 maybe.
Yeah, like these are skins that I have to have because they're Marvel characters. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's awesome. What they've done is really, really cool.
And the challenges that are associated with each character are awesome because they unlock like special emotes. The one for She-Hulk unlocks an emote where you turn into She-Hulk from the Jennifer Walters character. The one for Thor, you do the lightning strike thing. Very cool.
Yeah,
and then you like glow for the rest of the match.
Yeah, I think the Iron Man one has you running around as Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And there's an emote where he like calls the suit, which is so cool.
Yeah.
So dope.
It's I mean, like, obviously there's like stickers and sprays and whatever and gun skins, and like those are cool because there's Marvel still, but like it's definitely about the characters on this one. And I think like the Groot one, you unlock rocket for your shoulder and stuff like that. So it's just like,
really?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
it might be. I don't know if it's
like.
It might be an emote.
That's killer, dude. That is so cool.
It's an emote, but I don't know if he stays on your back the whole time. It seems like he does, though.
I think he does because like all the other emotes, you like do something and then it like sticks around. Like you turn into She-Hulk, you don't turn back automatically. You got the emote again for you to go back into Jennifer Walters.
Shout out to Marvel, dude. Shout out to Marvel, dude. Like they're
shout out to the
right now.
Fortnite developers for like making all these things so cool.
It's insane.
You look at Marvel and it's like we haven't had a MCU release in almost a year now, over a year, right? And so people are hungry for superhero things. We got Avengers coming out this week, and now there's this giant Fortnite season. You know, they're just still dominating the brain share that every gamer has, and we all want these superheroes, and it's awesome. They're doing a great job.
There's also a few map changes. There's like sentinels laying on the ground.
Oh wow!
Where Thor's hammer, like you don't start out with Thor's hammer as like a harvesting tool, Boney. It like there's a crater where it is, and you have to go pick it up, and then it gets added to your inventory when you back out of the game. It's very cool.
You just pick it up. You don't have to get like a certain amount of kills. You don't have to be worthy to pick it up. You just go grab it.
You just go grab it.
Only Thor can use the hammer as a harvesting tool.
Yeah, I think they've locked a lot of the things to the specific character.
What are the other harvesting tools?
Use Thor's hammer as Batman.
No, I've seen screenshots of people in Captain America skins using the hammer.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn it! I should have gotten that.
I guess it's the emotes, maybe. There's some of the things are locked to specific characters.
Yeah, emotes for sure is locked to Thor. And like, I mean, you can have the Hulk's what's it called, emote for everyone else.
Because like some of the things, like the harvesting tool, it's like if you're not using this character, it will not be shown this way. It will be the default one. Like there's an umbrella, I think, too. It's like if you're not using this character, it will be shown as the default one. Oh, the one where you fly around.
Yeah,
as Thor with the hammer is like a
glider
thing.
Yeah.
And that one changes back to the default if you have it equipped on any other character except for Thor, which kind of makes sense, I guess, but because that probably took a lot more animation than most of the other ones.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they've. Go ahead, Kev.
I said that's cool if Captain America is able to hold that hammer and use his origin tool.
That's an
Yes,
amazing reference.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they've also put like this really nice comic book in the game.
Yeah,
like a full issue,
Mhm.
and I've only read the first couple pages, and it has Thor running around with Galactus for some reason. And I guess that Kevin, you were telling me that's why he looks all goofy because now he's the Thane of Galactus or whatever. And so they really went all in, and it's paying off because they got me, dude.
They got me good.
I'm not much of a Fortnite guy, but you put all these Marvel characters in something, like, you got me, dude. I'm so easy.
And running around doing the challenges is fun. And somehow we ended up accidentally winning a game while we were doing it. So
also,
good times all around.
Also, there's cars in the game playing actual music, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Actual licensed music from like whatever you hear on the radio in your car right now. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's
wow.
Cool. Sunflower, you know.
Sunflower. I forgot about that.
We were all just screaming out Sunflower, just singing the words or pretending like we know the words and singing it as we drove around, or as Kevin drove around and left JD to die in the storm.
Yeah, there is something comical about like these Fortnite characters getting into a car and then Travis Scott comes bumping over the radio. You know what I mean? It's like two things that you don't necessarily see together, but it works. And man, it's crazy to jump into like one of these vehicles and hear a licensed song coming through the speakers.
Really cool.
Yeah, it definitely just like everything about the Marvel season is like bringing a smile to my face, and I love it. And like they obviously can't do that with their own characters because you don't have that attachment. So it's nice that they got this license, and I can't believe that they have this many characters on a battle pass. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
All right, and now to our big topic of the week. Because of the announcement of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, we went back to Blackout and played a few rounds. You can definitely see, in my opinion, the transition that they're like, you see all of the mechanics and all of the things and the inventory systems in Blackout, and you can see how they've improved in Warzone, and you're like, they did a really good job, and they like realized what things were and weren't working, and I definitely appreciate that. I played an okay amount of it when it originally came out, and then I've played like, I don't know, a couple times this week. Kevin, I know you played a lot and you love it. Would you like to speak on the Blackout mode?
It's really, really cool. And when we were playing it recently, I was like, man, this game does feel it still feels pretty great for being a year old, 2 years old, 2 years old. Yeah, 2 years old by now, I guess. And I know like it does feel weird, like the movement and the aiming down and everything else like that feels way different from like Warzone. But I still like once I got back into it, I was like, okay, I know how to play now. And I was getting kills left and right. You know, you saw me Maddock in the asylum shooting down people. Seeing zombies in there was really cool too. And I don't know, I just like this game too. I like it a lot because you're able to swim around too, which is a cool feature. You can just like if you want, you can hide under like one of those boat houses. I think they have boat houses in the map. You can like swim under one of them and hide under there if there's people coming around or something like that.
Yeah, like when you drop at docks or shipyard, whatever it was, and you go in the water and you see these buoys, you can swim to the bottom of the buoys and there's a loot crate down there you can grab.
Nice.
So I always thought that was really cool. You could find stuff underwater.
I don't know. Black Ops, I don't know. I like it a lot, even though there's a lot of things to do because the zombie is a lot to handle, and actually, it's not that much to handle. It's just in the way sometimes, but it's pretty cool seeing the zombies there.
That's only in like one section of the map, yeah?
No, it's multiple places.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The lighthouse, graveyard,
diner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the like zombie maps.
You can definitely avoid them if you don't want to.
Yeah, you don't have to mess with them at all if you don't want to. But if you If you kill all of them in that one spot, they give you a chest that has a lot of good things in them too. But
Oh, really?
if you do
Nice.
that, you're exposing yourself to other people around. If there are people around you, so you got to be careful if you want to do it or not. It's pretty cool. Gliders are there. Gliders are so cool because you can just drop from anywhere and make it to any part of the map.
The wingsuits, yeah.
Wingsuits, yeah. Wingsuits, yeah. Sorry, wingsuits.
Yeah.
What else is different from Warzone?
The armor system works a little bit different.
Oh, yeah.
The perk system is interesting. I think they made it work for, not getting your loadout. There's perks on the ground you can pick up and activate when you want to use them.
Yeah. It works for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. The menu system's definitely a little jank, I would say. It's like a little bit tricky to get used to. And they definitely improved upon that in Warzone, but I would say overall, this is just like a more polished, better running version of PUBG, and that's like a great thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to put in attachments on your guns. It's not like Warzone when they give you the gun.
No custom loadout.
Yeah,
you're getting the guns on the ground and you're going.
And you're grabbing sights off the ground, and bullets are based on caliber and stuff like that. But it's like PUBG just in the Call of Duty universe, and it runs smooth, and like the fact that it runs smooth like just gives it that edge over PUBG automatically in my mind. It's definitely more colorful. I love how colorful it is compared to Warzone. The map is bright. The greens of the grasses are green. Everything in Warzone is so brown, and like there's a snowy section in Warzone that's just snowy and white and dead, and it's just like it's a nice change up from landing at like the bleak Verdansk,
saturated. Yeah, it's like that Zack Snyder desaturated look,
Yeah,
with sort of a brown filter.
Zack Snyder, that's a good one.
But Boney, what has your experience been with it?
So I was big into PUBG. That was my console. I only had Xbox. I had PlayStation 4, so PUBG was the battle royale for me. It's the one I could play. When we heard that the next Black Ops was going to have a beta for their Blackout mode, their battle royale, pre-ordered it right away because I needed to try. I was looking for something. Yeah. I figured this was going to be the next level, the next thing up from PUBG. This is the big one. So we pre-ordered it, played it, fell instantly in love with it. Kept my pre-order. Usually when I pre-order something, I cancel it right away just to get beta access, But I kept it. That was the first game I think I pre-ordered in a very long time. Jumped into it. Loved every moment of it. Loved the color, like you said. A lot of color in it. Loved the wingsuit. I still miss that wingsuit. I think the wingsuit has probably been my favorite mode of dropping out of an airplane and getting to point A to point B,
Nice that no one's shooting you out of the sky.
No one can shoot you out of the sky. Yep. So yeah, I played a lot of it until Apex came out, that I played, I don't know, 4 or 5 months straight of that game. Blackout or Black Ops 4 Blackout.
Yeah, I never got into it. That's why I'm sort of sitting here quiet. This was before I had a crew to run battle royales with, and I tried it once or twice, and that was it. And I liked it when I liked what I played, but I have next to no experience with Blackout.
Yeah, the fact that there's still a population in this game is pretty great as well, because we've obviously played a decent amount of games that have either no population or have the population has drastically fallen off. You can get a full game and the queue times weren't long, which I think just speaks to the quality of the video game.
Good.
As so like good. A better version of PUBG, really.
Mm-hmm. And then they had map changes in that in Blackout too. So because like Yacht wasn't there at the beginning. That Yacht came in later on. The dam broke. That's what it was. The Hydro Dam broke and it got flooded, and it flooded shipyard or dock, something like that. Whatever it's called. That part was flooded for a while too. So yeah, they had map changes here and there, but I don't think they've had anything recently because of Warzone, so everything shifted towards Warzone after a while. But I'm surprised people are still playing it.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't take long to get a 99 player population into a match, which is definitely something that a lot of games can't say, and even games that take 12 people can't say sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And then you guys were saying that there was a lot of mission based things that you could kind of do to unlock characters.
Oh yeah, because you have, if you look at the characters you can choose from to drop in with, like if you want to be like one of the guys from the zombie mode, like Dempsey, Takeo, or Rick Toffin, if you hover over them, they'll be like, find the letter and you'll to unlock this character. And I don't know if you saw me, man. I picked up a letter that's for Takeo, and if you hover over the letter, it'll give you like a task to do to unlock them. It'll be like, oh, get a kill with a Bowie knife and end with the Bowie knife, or win the game with the Bowie knife, and then you unlock the character.
Yeah,
win the game with the Bowie knife.
Yeah, or there's one that was like, I forgot who it was, but you'd find 2 sets of dog tags, and then you'd have to win
with
the match with those dog tags on you to unlock that character. So it was stuff like that.
That's cool. I mean, they kind of have something similar with like once you have an operator unlocked in Warzone, there's challenges. Some of them are based in Warzone. Some of them could be Warzone or multiplayer. Like I just unlocked like another color skin for one of the characters that was like drop 5 ammunition boxes, and there's usually 4 or 5 challenges per operator in Warzone. So
yeah, I guess that's where they got it from.
Yeah,
it was
probably
from the Blackout way they did it. Which is
cool. I mean, definitely a decent game. There's not like a ton to say about it, I guess, because it's not that different. But
no, it doesn't really feel like it. It didn't really change much for the genre. It was just more polished battle royale.
It was like the first like hyper polished one, I would say. Since
AAA.
Apex came out of it. Apex came out a little bit after it.
I do miss the reactive skins though to the guns. When I was playing the other day, I whipped out the Rampart, and it's pretty much this glowing white Rampart. It looks something like from something in outer space. I do miss stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that you could create like skins for your guns in that game, and I had like a red and blue one with like a hexagon pattern that I had made when I hopped into multiplayer earlier. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then and then also you can make the custom emblems, which is always funny. Someone killed me in solos mode, Bone Jiggles, and their emblem was like TTV 356 wins solo. Check me out or something like that. And I was like, oh my god. I feel like this game was like right before like TTV people existed, and now like hopping back in, of course, they're like taking advantage of when they kill you, they have to have TTV in their emblem.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So I guess the question is, where do we want to rank this game on the list? I will give you the current list. Bone
Number
Jiggles, it's
1.
been a little bit since you heard it, but I guess you heard it because you listened to it.
Yeah, I listened to it.
You're a dedicated listener / part-time host.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job.
At number 10, we have Cuisine Royale. At number 9, we have Ring of Elysium. At number 8, we have Battlefield 5 Firestorm. At number 7, we have Super Animal Royale. At number 6, we have PUBG. At number 5, we have Hyperscape. At number 4, we have Realm Royale. Number 3, we have Fall Guys. At number 2, we have Fortnite. At number 1, we have Apex. Kevin was shouting all week that we should just rank Fortnite higher because of the Marvel season.
Oh, look, it was really fun. I was coming back to it, and I was like, if we re-rank Fortnite, I'll let Washburn re-rank Super Animal Royale.
Number one. All right. Well, anyone have any feelings? I mean, I personally think it should probably be above PUBG just because it's like a better version of PUBG.
That's about where I was gonna put it.
I remember about this game too. Like I haven't spoke on it much, but I remember it coming out sort of in the heat of the new battle royale wave, and me not liking PUBG because it is so unpolished. It still is. and this one coming out and me being so excited to try something that was like PUBG but like ran well.
Yeah.
And even though I didn't play it as much as I sort of wish I had, that's really the one thing I remember feeling about this game is like, oh, it's polished PUBG. Like, so yeah, I mean, I'm abstaining from ranking, but yeah, Maddock, what you just said makes sense. Putting it right above PUBG because that's what it is. It's polished PUBG.
I'll put it above Hyperscape.
What number is Hyperscape?
I was wondering. Hyperscape is right above PUBG at number 5.
I was even thinking maybe above Realm Royale, but I don't know. I don't know about Realm.
I think I probably have more fun randomly dropping into Realm than I do in Blackout. Hyperscape, I just don't have fun with, so I don't want to like sway that conversation too hard.
It is try hard enough like Hyperscape, but I think I have more fun with Blackout than Hyperscape.
I have more fun with Blackout than I have with Hyperscape for sure. I would almost put it above Hyperscape as well.
Okay. I mean, I'm down with that then.
I don't see anybody playing Hyperscape anymore.
Yeah, I don't really either. But if you watch it on Twitch, I might still follow the account on Twitter, and I think it says like, if you watch on Twitch, you get a new skin, and I'm like, this skin isn't worth watching on Twitch. But whatever.
It's a cool idea.
I'm good with putting it at 5.
I mean, I was even thinking put it at number 1, but I know you guys don't want it.
It's not a number 1, Kevin. It's not better than Apex Legends.
I mean, I guess I played both of them the same amount. Apex and Blackout. Yeah.
Put it at 5.
5.
Call of Duty.
I'm seeing it. Just put Blackout.
Okay, fine, Kevin. I'll do that just for you. Blackout.
No,
the only negative I have to say about Blackout is friendly fire.
No, does it have friendly fire?
I don't think it does anymore.
You do? Okay.
If it did it? I don't remember.
It did. It 100% had friendly fire.
I don't remember.
The time to kill. The one thing that I would say is the time to kill is so fast, even when you have armor. If someone gets the jump on you, you're like dead, which is kind of tough.
Well, there's level tier like armor too, like level 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Level 3, you have that full body suit. You sound like freaking Hulkbuster running down the road.
Incredible sound effects. I haven't played on controller or like a Call of Duty game in controller in so long. I don't know if this is the case, but like the vibrations for when you're hitting people, does that happen in Warzone?
I don't think
my
so.
controller vibrates a lot when I hit people in Blackout.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
maybe it does.
It just feels good. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people turn off vibration because they feel like it distracts from their gameplay because they're tryhards, but
wastes his battery on a controller too. So
yeah, that's true. But when you have 40 hours of battery life with the Elite controller,
whoop-de-doo for you, huh? Not everyone has a cool controller like you.
That's true. All right, so our new rankings are at number 11, Cuisine Royale. At number 10, Ring of Elysium. At number 9, Firestorm. At number 8, Super Animal Royale. At number 7, PUBG. Number 6, Hyperscape. Number 5, Blackout. At number 4, Realm Royale. At number 3, Fall Guys. At number 2, Fortnite. And at number 1, Apex Legends. One day we will rank Warzone, but it will not be next week. Next week we will be ranking Fallout 76 and its lovely Battle Royale, which I have never played a Fallout game in general, so this should be interesting.
Same here. Never played a Fallout game.
Trust me, this Battle Royale, pretty good, dude. I might even say pretty bitchin', That's my other catchphrase I'm allowed to say, dude. I mean, cool and radical.
I may have tried Fallout New Vegas during the last year in the life cycle of the 360 just because I saw it at GameStop for like $2.
Yeah.
So I think I might have popped it in and tried it, but
yeah, I'm interested. It definitely has some different things about it, which I always find to be interesting for our discussions and how we can improve all the battle royales. Does anyone have anything they need to promote besides their Twitch channels? Because you can go to twitch.tv/bonejangles. Twitch.tv/KevinAsX, Twitch.tv/Washburn135.
The only thing I'll say
we
is...
do the squad pod also. Turns out.
The only thing I'll say is I'll try to remember to upload in time.
Oh yeah, that's fine. And I'm sure tons of people noticed Kevin.
A
So
lot of people. I got messages from everyone.
My phone was blowing up, dude. Where's
Yeah.
Squad Pod? Where's Squad Pod?
I mean, I was like, you know what? I was getting them achievements. Just leave me alone.
he was up late. He said, and I quote, "It was I am the game's fault."
He's never gonna listen to this because he doesn't listen to it. I'm gonna blame on him.
All right, perfect. Until next time, Bone Jangles.
Comms out.